Hi everybody, Sunday night. It's week number 2 of our so long. Let me adjust this just a tad. I think we have it just a little too far. Yeah, I don't know if that's working. It's actually pushing me out of frame. Hold on. Here, I'm back in frame again. This is week 2 of the trees on parade. So long, much better. Computer setup now after last week and all the technical difficulties. But we'll let everybody give them a minute to get on, and we'll talk more about that. I have Molly and Felicia down here with me. Felicia's actually, you can't see her, she's off camera. She's right over here in a chair that I put a blanket in because she was nervous Nelly. So I popped her in the chair up here next to me so that just checking out my computer connection. I don't see anybody popping on yet, but that's okay. Let's see. Do I see anybody here? I'm going to bring you guys up on my phone. Yep, I can bring you up on my phone. Nice. Nice. It doesn't look like anybody's on yet, but that's okay. We're going to get going. So here we are on week 2 of the Trees on Parade So Long. Hi, Mom. And let's see. Some things have changed. My YouTube channel, I'm changing the format of that. So every Saturday I will post a video on my YouTube channel. Every other Saturday it will be a floss tube for the cross stitch, and every other Saturday it will be a quilting video of some sort. Not really exactly sure what I want to talk about there. Probably things that I'm working on, things that are coming down the pike in the quilting world, things like that. Projects that I'm doing, my goals for the week, things like that. But every Saturday a video will go up on my YouTube channel. So if you normally follow me on here in Facebook land, I would love it if you popped over to YouTube, search for Little Farm Quilts over there, and subscribe and like the videos, because as soon as I hit 100 likes over there, I am going to do a giveaway. And I have more than that active in Facebook right now, so that shouldn't be a problem. So if everybody would just hop over there, subscribe to my channel, like a couple of videos, and hit the bell for notifications so that you know when I go live, that would be great. Very helpful. So we're going to try to get that going there. In there, I'll probably share things that I'm working on, like my block of the months that I work on, so longs that I'm working on, anything customer quilts that I'm long arm quilting at the time, sometimes tips and tricks, sometimes a crafting idea. It could be any number of things. So I have a lot of interest, and they vary across the board. On to Trees on Parade. So I was working with the fabrics this afternoon, and remember how I was sewing them together and matching fabrics so that we had a tree in each direction. I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I'm going to make it more scrappy than that, because really scrappy is more my style, and it was starting to irritate me a little bit. So I'm going to go back to the scrappy part of it, and I'm just going to work on some blocks. It's been kind of a week here. I'm going to sew while I talk. Drink some water because my throat is dry. Mom, you'll have to let me know how the video is, because this is actually the webcam, not the computer camera that we tested earlier. Hi, Val. So Mom, pipe in and let me know what you think about this versus the one that we had earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and sew, and I guess I'll talk at the same time. We had a bit of a week last Sunday, and I don't know if I mentioned it on my live video or not, My father-in-law ended up in the hospital. He got really sick. Long story short, he ended up in the ICU for a couple of days. He's now out of the ICU, but still very much in the hospital. And we're looking for him to either come home or go to rehab probably tomorrow or Tuesday. So any prayers and good thoughts would be greatly appreciated for his healing. He's doing much better. He really did have a rough go of it for a couple of days. So. Okay, good, Val. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. I think this one will work out well. Last week, it was such a pain in the butt last week. We had technical difficulties, and then my laptop didn't want to work, and my internet was going in and out, which we have issues here with internet from time to time. So that didn't surprise me, but it happened to occur right at my live time, of course. You know, it couldn't have been any other time of the day. It was right when I was getting ready to go live. So that was not cool. I actually have 3 blocks made, and I actually picked them apart. I had them sewn together in a row because, as I said, I was going to do matchy-matchy. I decided that really isn't my thing, and I wasn't really liking so much how it was turning out. So I took them apart, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make blocks, and then I'm going to lay them out and see how I like how they look together. And this, I had a question this week again. I get this question all the time, like, how do you get so much done? This is why I get so much done, because everything's right here at my fingertips. So when I sit and sew, everything's right here. I mean, I have my big iron across the room on my ironing station, but I have a little one here, and that's what I use. When I sew, even when I'm not live, everything's right here. And when Mom's here, she'll be over in this direction sewing. We'll have this cutting and ironing station in between us, and we'll share it. So, hi, Deb. So this is really how I operate even when I'm not live. So the other blocks that I finished, I actually gave them a nice big press with my big iron, and I starched them a little bit because when I go to put them together and quilt them, I want them to have some structure. So those are setting there. This one I'm just going to give a little iron. This is one of the ones I was working on as I was deciding not to do it all matchy-matchy. So this is another one. This will go to the ironing pile. And I forget what side I have what on now. I had the pieces all pre-cut over there, so I'm just kind of picking them and working it. I actually have been drawing the lines from corner to corner on my squares because I don't know what it is lately, but I can't seem to sew a straight line. So I've been using my friction pen. I'm drawing the lines instead. It's kind of funny. I used to be anti-drawing lines. I used to be anti-pinning, and now I'm finding that I find use for both of those activities. I think it's funny how everything evolves. And I just keep my marking tools right here next to me so that I have them, just like everything else. I was spending some time today binding I had projects building up that needed to be bound, so I spent some time today binding some quilts. There's that one. It's been kind of on and off rainy here today. It was nice here yesterday. Matt and I went for a drive. We saw some of the colors. But today it's been kind of rainy, on and off. And then the sun will come out and it's fine for a while. So I don't know. Matt says it's not that cold out. But I have been down here. So I haven't been outside much today. I had some things I wanted to do here. Because my laptop wasn't really cutting it down here, and we moved the other computer up to our office because we reclaimed our bedrooms for the holiday season because we're going to have a house full. We had an iMac down here that we hadn't used in a while, so I got that out and put it here in my sewing center. And then I hadn't been on the iMac for a long time, and that works very different than a PC. So we had that learning curve going on, and then it was all about getting it to switch from the internal camera to the one that I wanted it to use, my web camera, because it's clearer. Mom and I were testing that on our video chat earlier today. So I spent quite a bit of my morning figuring that out, and then I had a customer come pick up one of the quilts. And the rest of the day I've kind of been putzing down here. I did some binding. I almost put the wrong fabric on that side. I did some piecing. I'm part of a mystery quilt, and I'm behind only 2 blocks now because I did one of them today. And I starched the rest of the fabric for the other 2. So I'm ready to, in the next couple days, I will be able to cut those. I'm hoping that by the end of the week, I'm all caught up on those. I'm just finger pressing some of these because I'm actually going to take them over and give them a nice steam press when I'm done. And trim them a little bit. I was asked if I used a 1/4 inch foot on my machine when I sew. I don't anymore. I used to. I really don't anymore. I take a piece of tape and put it across my whole sewing surface at the 1/4 inch mark, and I find that that's enough. So that's what I do. And it works for me. But those of you that have been around for a while and following me for a while, you'll understand this. I used to have a strong aversion to pinning to the point where I was like, no stinking pins ever. Now, not only do I pin sometimes, but I have 2 different sizes of pins here. And don't ask me for the specific sizes because I really don't know. I have a bigger pin, which I don't know if you can tell the size of that. And then I have these smaller ones. And I like both, but I like both for different things. And I don't know how I went from being a non-pinner to using 2 different size pins from time to time. I don't pin all the time, but I do definitely pin sometimes. I will say that I do not generally pin short seams. But if I'm trying to match stuff up, I do pin. And see, this is getting a little crooked. See, so I'm not perfect either. This is getting a little crooked. But I'm going to go ahead and trim it up a little bit and it'll be just fine. That's the cool thing about this pattern, is it's quite forgiving. I think the toughest thing for me is remembering which fabric I have on which side of this tree, apparently tonight. I also was asked how long the sew-along is going. I really don't know. However long it takes me to finish it. I haven't really had a lot of questions about the pattern, so those of you that have bought the pattern must find it useful or user-friendly, because I have not gotten a ton of that. But the videos will go up on YouTube right after we're done here. And they will every week, and they'll live there forever and ever, amen. But however long, this is actually a project I wanted to do for us to have done for Christmas, so I thought if I made it into a sew-along, it would kill two birds with one stone. It means I have to work on it every week at least. And then yeah, I did too much talking, I think. I sewed the wrong one on here. It's okay, at least they're short seams. And I already have my seam ripper handy because I was doing some of that earlier. I tend to get in a rush trying to get things done, and that's when the seam ripper ends up coming out, I think. So I need this one. I did some reorganizing in the sewing room today too. It seems like I'm always doing that, I think. I think when it came to putting the other computer in here, then it became something where I needed to adjust where things were to make the camera angle better for lives, and I think this works out pretty good. You can see some of my cross stitch patterns hanging up here. I did mount a plank on the pegboard, so my quilting books are right there where I can see them all the time. And I think that's a good idea. It's probably one of the better ideas I've come up with recently, I think. Normally they're in a shelf I'll put away, and I'm thinking, why not have them out? Number one, I like looking at them. I like seeing what I have. So why not have them there and have them at my... I already said that I use them to get inspiration from, so... Okay, let's see what we got here. I think this is going to be block 2. I'm going to finish here shortly. Sunday nights are tough for me. I don't know why. We get on live and all of a sudden I start yawning, and it just seems ridiculous, but I don't know. I almost want to just sit in front of the TV and chill now. But get a little time of sewing in. I have one more load of laundry in the dryer. Picked up a couple of blankets at Goodwill this weekend. So I have to wash them up. I got a vintage Granny Spray Afghan that I'm going to put in my mom's room. I've decided I'm decorating everything for Christmas, so the whole house and bedrooms, basement, every bedroom is going to get at least a small Christmas tree. Trying to figure out which fabric I'm going to use next. I ordered blankets for every bed in the house, all red buffalo check. So those should be coming in soon. I'm going to make some sort of wreath for Christmas in every room, in every bedroom. I don't know. Now I just sewed that diagonal line without drawing the line. So let's see if these work out nice. So I started collecting things for that at the Goodwill store because I believe pretty strongly in repurposing things. So I got another type of blanket that it's not really Christmas, but it's primarily red, and I can use that in the house. So I'm looking forward to that. It may take me a long time to get everything all decorated the way I want, so I might as well start now, I guess. Collecting stuff. Thought I had that sewn on wrong. Hoping to get 4 blocks done while we're together. Let's see if I get that. Got 2. Another one. I always struggle with the camera angles. All right, the left is which one? I always have to remember which fabric I put on which side. These actually go by pretty fast. If you have a few of them cut up on a board like I have right next to me, they go by pretty fast. And they go really fast if you're finger pressing because you don't even have to go to the iron. You just want to make sure you do have the seams open all the way before you add on other pieces. That's the only caveat to that. You have to really, like I have a rhythm to my finger pressing. I know I've been doing it a long time. I do it up at the treadle all the time because when I'm sewing in the living room, I don't necessarily bring the iron up there. So I make sure that I finger press well before I start adding pieces, because otherwise you get these weird pleats in the seams that you don't need, that aren't serving you any good purpose at all. Sorry, I had something in my eye. I've actually been doing these without drawing the line, and it seems to be working out okay right now. I shouldn't say anything because I'll say something and all of a sudden they won't. Did you ever notice, if you ever watch the videos of other sewers, you ever notice that everybody has these long fingernails? I have a history of biting my fingernails. On and off, I would say, over the years. A lot more as a child than as an adult. And so recently I had just come off one of those times when, I don't know, stress, whatever it was, had me biting my fingernails again. And I stopped biting my fingernails. I figured, forget it. Stop biting them. So now I have these long nails, and no, I'm not going to show you guys. But when you watch the videos, the sewers with the long nails, they use their nails as tools, to like a stylus, like one of these, to help feed things to the foot. And I've shown you guys how to use those before, but I find that today, like I was gonna clip my nails today, and then I decided I spent some time down here sewing. I'm like, no, I'm not, because they actually come in handy sewing. I use them a lot. I use them to finger press things. It gives them a nice crisp edge when you finger press, and it allows you to hold fabric close to the needle without necessarily having your finger right there. I mean, it might hurt if it goes through your fingernail, but it's not going to be hurt as much as if it goes through your finger. So I kind of... Uh-oh. Oh, I just ran out of thread. Upper thread even. Hold on. See, it's real life here. I have thread right above me though on a shelf, so we're good. I just have to rethread the machine. It'll just take a minute. I'm using Gutermann thread right now because that's what I have handy. I was using Aurifel. I think the cone, I have a cone of Aurifel. Oh, it's hanging right up here on the wall. It is, I don't even know what color it is, 2026. And I was using this to piece all the time, exclusively. And then I was having a problem with my machine, so I changed the thread out. I don't think it was the thread. I think it was the tension of my machine. But this cone used to be pretty big, and I buy it by the cone, and then that's what I used to piece with. And I had Gutermann here, so I just switched it over to Gutermann just to see if the thread was the issue, but it really wasn't. It was more, the machine just needed a good clean. It needs a good clean again already. It needs a good clean. It needed a good clean then. And you have to keep your tools up. And as much as I sew, here, all threaded. See if it works. Hold on. That did not work. Well, again, I'm glad this happens when I go live. I don't want you to think that I never have any issues with my machine, because that's never the case. I use my, like I was saying, I use my machine so much that there are times when they just start to revolt, I think, because they need to be clean. Like this one in particular is my daily, this is the one I use daily. See if I can get it working. And I noticed today, yep, it's back to working, that the foot's all gunky with stuff. I don't know if it's oil from oiling the machine, whatever, but the foot actually needs to be cleaned on this. So I will be doing that probably sometime this week. I do have it listed on I have weekly goals that I got back into doing. I actually have on there to clean my machine, this one particularly, and the long arm. Then I will do the long arm before Deb comes over to quilt her mystery quilt from last year. For those of you that have been following along, we do the mystery quilt. Bonnie Hunter does a mystery quilt every year. We follow along. We have a small group of quilters that meets in my Little Farm Quilters Facebook group, and we post our progress in there. If you care to join, search for Little Farm Quilters on Facebook and ask to join the group. In order to join, you have to have some evidence of quilting in your Facebook feed, because otherwise just about anybody can get into a group, and that's not my idea of the group. So also, just a reminder, because we've had a couple of these too, I've had a couple people that somehow got into the group. I'm not sure how they got into the group. I'm trying to figure that out. They weren't part of the group. Left some negative comments. I do monitor my pages every day, and I take out any negativity that's on them. I delete the comments because that's not the purpose of my groups either. It's the old golden rule in my Facebook pages, my YouTube, everything. You treat other people the way you would want to be treated. And since that's my content and my name out there, I do control what's in there. And I will delete comments if they're not. And I don't always think that comments are intended to be as quippy as they sound sometimes, but I think people lose sight of the fact that you're not talking to somebody face to face, and there's no inflection, there's no expression on your face that they're seeing, anything. So if it even sounds quippy, I'm gonna eliminate the comments. So just so everybody's aware, I really don't like that stuff. We try to be positive and encourage each other. I don't judge how other people do things. I don't expect to be judged for how I do things. It works for me. Whatever somebody else does works for them. And that's my spiel. There, I got one more here to cut out. What should I do? We'll do this. I'm organizing my pieces here. Because I only have one left, I can actually lay it out. It's like a puzzle. Uh-oh, I thought I was short a piece. Actually, I have just the right number of pieces. So I have 4 blocks when we're done. And I think I did 4 last week. I guess that's pretty good. No, I did 3 last week. I think if I do 4 a week, We'll see how many that'll give me 12 blocks. I have to measure upstairs the quilt rack and see how wide I need it to maybe hang on that quilt rack for the Christmas time, because I think that would be kind of cool. I do have the Christmas quilt sew along last year, but that is hanging in my office for Christmas. That won't be here at home. That's in my office. My office is decorated as well for the fall, so. Oh, this is going to look kind of cool. It's got green buffalo check next to red buffalo check. Okay. So here's another one. It's weird how the white's lined up there. It almost looks like a white stripe, but it's really not. I wonder if 12 blocks would do it. If I did a 3x4 block, I wonder if that's wide enough to go on my quilt rack. I'll have to measure it up and find out. These blocks really do whip together quickly. I do usually, when I'm cutting, before I cut these corners off, I take a glance over and make sure I have it sewn A, in the right direction, and B, with the right fabric on it, because I have done that, sewn the wrong fabric to the wrong side. And when you start one fabric on one side, I want to continue that fabric down that side. So if you put the wrong fabric on, that's a problem. So before I cut, because I don't like to waste fabric in that way, I take a quick glance over just to make sure I've got everything on the right side. Because nothing's worse than when you already cut fabric off and you figured out you got the wrong one on there. That's bad. If any of you are working on this quilt and you have pictures, I would love to see them, so post them in this Facebook page or on the Little Farm Quilters page, or I believe you can probably post it, give me a shout out on YouTube, and I'll take a look at it there. You can also post on Instagram and tag hashtag Little Farm Quilts, and I can look for it there. Hold on. Gotta do that. My nose has been itchy since yesterday, and I'm hoping that I'm not coming down with something again. Nope, wrong side. Maybe something didn't quite look right. This is row 2. These two are row 3. I hope nobody's commenting because none of the comments are showing up right now. This is actually how fast I sew most of the time. Ask my mom, she'll tell you. I have a lot that I like to do. I'm trying to make time for all of it. So around my day job. The last one for tonight going together. Use my fancy thread cutter. My mom's been having a problem with her thread cutter, and she had said that to me, and then I wasn't having a problem with mine, and then all of a sudden I started to have a problem with mine, and somehow I got it fixed. So it's working just fine now. It didn't sound like it was sewing. It sounded kind of quiet. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. This is the last block for me tonight. Made 4. Let me get this flattened out a little bit, and then I'll show it to you. It's kind of cool with the green buffalo check next to the red buffalo check. Kind of cool. So I'm going to press these, give them a little starch, let them lay out here to dry with the others. I will be back next Sunday at 7 for week 3 of Trees on Parade. Please send all your friends over to the YouTube channel. If I get 100 subscribers, I will have a giveaway. So, and I have lots of stuff to give away. Ask anybody who knows me. Could be good stuff. Your thread cutter's working fine, huh? Yeah, mine is 2 now. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it seems to have worked itself out. So, I don't know. But everybody have a great night. New videos up on Saturday. I'll be back on Sunday. Bye.